Yabba dabba dabba doo, it's the Mikedjkelly Short and Short podcast for you.
This is the Short and Short podcast with Mikedjkelly.
Live across the universe, it's the Mikedjkelly Shorter Than Short podcast.
I liked the snappy start last time. Let's do it again. No intro music, no long drawn-out intro. We're straight in and off with the latest fun-filled Mikedjkelly Shorter Than Short podcast and the special Small Tomatoes edition.
On this week's podcast.
Coming up, my amazing digital friend Joyce, fake showbiz news, recommend a pod, charities, Rhubarb, toilet rolls, Trump, XTC, Count Binface, universal credit, cleft palates, plus lots of stuff you don't know that you don't know until you know.
This is the Shorter Than Short Mikedjkelly podcast.
I'm Mikedjkelly with the latest Shorter Than Short news. Our top story, FIFA President Gianni Infantino and Trump's brother-in-law face backlash after failed controversial plan to spin off FIFA's commercial operations into a separate corporate entity and sell stakes. Chinese JQ7 Range Rover lookalike has been crowned Britain's most popular new car. Travelodge in bother again for double booking rooms at London accommodation. Berlin's first supermarket rooftop farm is using waste heat and rainwater to grow almost 1 million lettuce mixes each year for stores across the region. The Jodrell Bank Observatory, which houses the UK's largest telescope, faces closure after its loss of government funding. XTC are re-releasing their fabulous song, Making Plans for Nigel. Nigel Mirage was unavailable for comment, but veteran radio DJ Tony Blackburn is quoted as saying, "Even Arnold liked that one." Shopify CEO Toby Luke is in bother after endorsing social media proposals that would award extra votes to high-income taxpayers. Aldi remains the UK's cheapest supermarket. Its standard store staff get the highest basic hourly wages in the UK's supermarket sector. That's it. You're up to date with all the news that is news this hour. I'm Mikedjkelly for STS News.
This is the Shorter Than Short podcast with Mikedjkelly.
Morning, Joyce. That's unusual. Why are you wearing a hat with a veil over your face? Are you in mourning?
No, I'm hiding.
From who? Why?
No, not from anybody, it's just I'm trying to look beautiful and I have had a Russian lips transformation.
Well, if you look like Boris Yeltsin or Vladimir Putin, I can understand you hiding.
No, it's not that. I now have a permanent smile. Everybody thinks I'm happy all the time even when I'm not.
Take the veil off and let's see the happy smiling Joyce, star of the show. Any other fashion features we should note this week?
Well, I have been doing some gardening and my hands were a bit rough, and I have started using this new skincare cream made by Dahlia in Wakefield. It's made with British botanicals. This one has rhubarb in it. It's very good.
And what's out there on the social media sites? Roger Cleach, a tradition in our home at Christmas was a Terry's chocolate orange. No more. My wife was given one this week and the recipe has changed. Segments smaller with gaps between them. Classic shrinkification. It's now as bad as Cadbury's with less cocoa, less orange, and the pleasure of it melting in your mouth has gone. Perhaps they could be repurposed as candles. The Zatchburger, stop calling it lobbying and start calling it bribery. Capital Stitch Co. Anyone else at the point where they are buying practically nothing because nothing's worth the price anymore. C. Thompson, YYC. Without water, trees and bees, the data centres will have no data to process because we'll all be dead. A non-pinhole, Charles and William, should pay back the rent they charge the NHS and various charities and the RNLI lifeboats. The public own those buildings and coastlines, not these two who think they're private landlords. Feudal per pen UK, it's a pity you can't ask for a medically induced coma on the NHS and have a few months off. Liam Oddle, UK, the cinema chain View has confirmed 18 of its cinemas in the UK and Ireland have Bluetooth's Auracast technology enabled, which streams high-quality audio into compatible hearing aids, headphones and earbuds. Bluesman, why is it every time our schools close down for holidays that Parliament also closes down for holidays? Normal working people have 2 weeks summer break, but MPs need 6, just like schools do. Why? They are very well paid politicians who are only working part-time. Short of water? Not if you have the new King Canute water desalination plant. It fits in your bathroom and plumbs directly in to the waste outlet of the bath and toilet and turns it into clear, fresh drinking water. Using reliable and tested reverse osmosis and thermal distillation methods, it's cheap to run and easy to use. Makes water shortages a thing of the past as you keep using the same water over and over again. Pays for itself in months as you will no longer need to buy water from the water companies. Full details on how to get your King Canute water desalination plant at the end of the show.
This is the Shorter Than Short Mikedjkelly podcast.
Yes, don't be blaming me. It's not my fault you've ended up listening to this. Blame the algorithm or AI. But while you're here, why not tell a friend or two about the Mikedjkelly Shorter Than Short podcast? Let's get everybody listening. Please text or email the link to this podcast to your friends and family, or just resend my tweet original message. Thank you.
This is the Shorter Than Short podcast with Mikedjkelly.
And in our We Want Him Back on the Telly spot this week, it's Alan Armstrong, who was born in 1946. For more than 50 years, Alan Armstrong has been one of Britain's most respected and versatile actors. Never one to chase celebrity, he has built an extraordinary career by disappearing completely into every role, whether on stage, TV or the big screen. As he once explained, I never wanted to be a star. Stars have to play themselves all the time. I like to disappear into the characters. That approach has made him one of the country's finest character actors. Television audiences know him best as the brilliant Brian Lane in New Tricks, while his many other memorable performances include Black House, Oliver Twist, Little Dorrit, Sherwood and Breeders. On the big screen he's appeared in films including Get Carter, Braveheart, Sleepy Hollow, The Mummy Returns, Van Helsing and Fragan. His stage career has been equally distinguished. After 9 years with the Royal Shakespeare Company, he originated the role of Venada into the original London production of Les Mis, before winning the Olivier Award for his acclaimed performance as Sweeney Todd. Away from acting, Alan has been married to his wife Sue since 1977, after the pair famously met when he gave her a lift when she was hitchhiking. We want Alan Armstrong back on the telly in some new stuff, not just his repeats.
Yabba dabba dabba doo, it's the Mikedjkelly Shorter Than Short podcast for you.
A bargain Range Rover lookalike has been crowned Britain's most popular new car. The JQ7 has been officially named the most in-demand new car in the UK in the first half of 2026, according to online car sales platform CarWow. Fresh data shows the Chinese vehicle outstripped popular brands such as the Kia Sportage and the Tesla Model 3. The JQ 7 only officially went on sale in the UK in January 2025. The Chinese-backed SUV launched with both petrol and plug-in hybrid models, initially starting from £29,435.
This is the Shorter Than Short podcast with Mike Kelly.
Recommend a pod, and I don't think we've had this one before, and this time it's The Last King of Elmit, which is an independent conversational podcast hosted by Kevin Duffy and Kevin Boniface. In each episode, the two Kevins chat casually about a delightful eclectic mix of books, art, music, geography, local history, publishing, and cultural detours. So who is the man in the bin? Jonathan David Harvey is an Oxford-educated writer with 3 decades at the heart of the BBC comedy establishment, writing for programmes such as The Thick of It, Have I Got News for You, and Yes Minister. He's won awards, been celebrated by the media, and is hardly an unknown outsider. He is Count Binface, and at the time of writing, the bookmakers have significantly shortened the odds for Count Binface, now listing him as the second favourite at 9-1.
This is the Shorter Than Short Mike Kelly podcast.
Today's do-gooders are Friends of the Elderly at fote.org.uk. We are a not-for-profit charity dedicated to providing exceptional care. We have been supporting older people for over 120 years, from serving up penny dinners to World War I veterans to pioneering innovations in dementia care. Supporting older people is at the heart of what we do. Today, the charity provides care home and daycare services for older people, as well as grants for elderly people in financial difficulty. Our priority is to help older people to live well in later life, whether they are alone in one of our care homes or we're helping them to improve their lives at home through providing a grant. Find out more, join in, help at Friends of the Elderly at fote.org.uk.
Mike Kelly podcast.
Today's music quiz is a 1982 movie hit. Name the song or the artiste. These are the words. Rising up, back on the street. Did my time, took my chances. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times it happens too fast. You trade your passion for the glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You might fight just to keep them alive. Name the song, the group, or the artiste.
Not a clue, and I'm normally good at these.
This is the Shorter Than Short podcast with Mike Kelly.
If you are a tube user, this one's for you. London Underground users should know about toxic dust risk, whistleblower says. Former Tube Network cleaner says tribunal vindicated his health concerns, including about asbestos that could affect public. Mickey Steeds, a former professional boxer from Averley in Essex, started working for London Underground in 2018, cleaning up decades of dust from vents, lift shafts and inverts. Confined channels underneath the station platforms for cabling, the judgment said London Underground had failed to treat Steed's complaints as whistleblowing and had unfairly dismissed him. The reason, or principal reason for dismissal, was that he made protected disclosures, the panel said. If you're new to the Mikedjkelly Shorter Than Short podcast, you can still get to hear all previous episodes just by searching or shouting the Mikedjkelly Shorter Than Short podcast. You can also catch me on BCB 106.6 FM on a Tuesday at midday. That's at bcbradio.co.uk.
Yabba dabba dabba doo, it's the Mike Kelly Shorter Than Short podcast for you.
And the trumped up news, factually correct, unlike the words from the president's mouth, how do views of Trump compare with other global leaders? Across 36 countries, a median of 23% of adults have confidence in US President Donald Trump to do the right thing regarding world affairs. Confidence in Trump is lower than confidence in French President Emmanuel Macron, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky, Chinese President Xi Jinping, and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Of the leaders asked about, only Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu received lower marks. And the strange thing is, if you ask Google who is the worst world leader, neither of them is mentioned. And from America, Donald Trump's State Department intends to allocate $12 million to organisations in the UK founded by prominent Conservatives Jacob Rees-Mogg and Toby Young, according to The Guardian. The intended grants, revealed in US government documents, are part of the package of support for European groups viewed favourably by the Trump administration. Donald Trump has also paid writer E. Jean Carroll more than $5 million in damages 3 years after he was found liable for sexually abusing and defaming her in a civil case.
What can we do about that terrible Donald J. Trump? Are the Americans stupid or something? Why do they put up with him? We got rid of Boris, Starmer and Rishi and Cameron because we couldn't stand them any longer.
What can we do? We can't do anything.
Yes, you can do something useful and ask that nice Barack Obama and his lovely wife Michelle to help and do something. You can write to them at P.O. Box 91,000, Washington, D.C. 20,066, or you can contact them online.
What do you want me to say to them? As if they will reply or listen to me.
Say if Trump is changing the rules so he can try for a third term as president in the 2028 presidential election, there is no reason why Barack Obama cannot go for it.
This is the Shorter Than Short Mikedjkelly podcast.
And on a medical note, every doctor, UK, it's a good job Andy Burnham wants to end rough sleeping in our country. Because right now, NHS England and the DHSC are stripping homeless and vulnerable people of access to GPs. A new cost-slashing scheme has kicked hundreds of thousands of vulnerable patients off GP lists, simply because they didn't reply to a letter or email. How is someone sleeping rough supposed to reply?
This is the Shorter Than Short podcast with Mikedjkelly.
And on those much in the news fancy ankle bracelets, the rapid expansion of electronic tagging to reduce pressure on prisons will put public safety at risk, without robust improvements to a system already under significant strain. The UK's public spending watchdog has warned. The number of people in England and Wales being electronically monitored has doubled to 28,700 over 5 years, and it's estimated to rise to 22,000 tagged each year from 2027, under government plans to combat the prison capacity crisis by managing more offenders in the community.
This is the Shorter Than Short podcast with Mikedjkelly.
And what's out there on the social media sites? Mr. G.S. Page. Coca-Cola pays £6,070 per annum to the Environment Agency for a licence to extract 674 million litres. In other words, they pay 0.005 pence per litre. They extract and sell at £1.60 for 600 millilitres. Morpeth, Northumberland. Street Art Globe. Would you pay $450 for a piece of grass after Sunday's World Cup final between Spain and Argentina at MetLife Stadium? FIFA will cut up the match pitch and preserve pieces of it inside resin cubes engraved with the stadium name, the date and the final score. Prices start at $450 and go up to $3,000 for higher tier editions. editions. Each edition is limited to 2,026 pieces. If every edition sells out, FIFA could generate more than $11 million from the pitch alone. Would you buy one? Callum Lyon, being single isn't what makes life difficult. It's having nobody to split the cost of surviving with. One salary has to cover the rent, the bills, the food, the problems and everything that goes wrong. Then you're told to stop buying coffee and budget better by people who have always had someone sharing their load. The system was built for two incomes and forgot what happens when you're on your own. Kev 1370. In 1971, the government guidelines for alcohol consumption was no more than 56 units a week. I'm sticking strictly with that advice. Anon a pinhole. It was much more fun before we had immediate access to all knowledge on the internet. You had to work hard to find out stuff about authors or bands you'd just discovered. You had to rack your brains to remember who scored that goal or who the drummer in the band was. Joseph Sharp 502. While billionaires and millionaires exist, disabled people living on universal credit are penalised for having more than £6,000 in savings. Why aren't people talking about this inequality? Tess Kennedy 35. Superb news. XTC are releasing their fabulous song Making Plans for Nigel. Let's get it to number 1 please. Me already bought it when it was originally released in 1979. Sarah Hester Ross. Women are being advised to play Disney songs when they notice a man recording them with meta glasses on without consent, because Disney music is more protected than women.
Yabba dabba dabba doo, it's the Mike Kelly Short and Short podcast for you.
And in the fake showbiz news, at Fake Showbiz News, the Lake District to be renamed the Flake District for the next month after National Park buses signed $2.3 billion sponsorship deal with Cadbury. Andy Burnham announces plans to change the national anthem to Step On by the Happy Mondays. Just need to get Charlie, King Charles III, on board, he told reporters. Dulipa says she doesn't care how well the glass has been cleaned. If it was once used to trap a spider, she will not be drinking from it. Elon Musk no longer a trillionaire after spending a week at Centre Parks.
This is the Shorter Than Short Mike Kelly podcast.
Don't forget, my pod-picking friends, if you want to get in touch about anything to do with the Shorter Than Short podcast, please use the following to contact, and if you have any stories, gossip or jokes or anything for the next episode, do connect and follow Mikedjkelly on any social media sites. Don't forget, you can always buy us a coffee if you go to gocoffee.com/Mikedjkelly. Any monies raised do go to charity. Rupert Murdock here. Probably shouldn't be poking my nose in here, but I see we're running quite a lot of these funeral plan adverts on the ITV channels. I find them quite disturbing at my age. I think a dating app for us older folks would be much nicer. Now our family owns ITV, there needs to be some changes. Things like leaving copies of The Sun and Times on the tables in The Rover's Return and on Good Morning Britain. The only papers they review are ours. Maybe some of the travel programmes could promote The Sun's Collect Vouchers to Get Free Holidays scheme. I think I'll make a note of that one. And getting rid of those funeral adverts. And in the Showbiz corner, how many corners have we had this week? Trisha Penrose, who played the barmaid Gina Ward in Heartbeat's Aidensfield Arms for 18 years, has now bought the Gothland Hotel, the real-life setting used in ITV's long-running show. The TV series, which ran from 1992 to 2010, as a result of its fame, the Goathland Hotel welcomes thousands of visitors throughout the year, from fans of Heartbeat from across the globe. Heartbeat, set in the fictional village of Aidensfield and filmed across North Yorkshire, became one of ITV's most popular dramas. The Aidensfield Arms, as depicted in the show, was a central hub for village life, with Penrose's character, Gina Ward, a firm fan favourite. Sounds like a good pension plan to me.
We will have to have a jolly to Whitby and have a drink in there with Gina. That would be nice.
Boom radio presenter Peter Quinn put a picture on Facebook of him walking his dog at 8:30 p.m, along with the comments, "Unusually quiet tonight." Under the picture was the Meter AI option. Why was it quiet on Peter's walk? First answer, it was a work day, and most people might have been busy with work or other commitments. Next, the weather might not have been suitable. And last, the location might not be suitable for an evening dog walk. At no point does it mention that England are playing Argentina, and that's why nobody is out walking their dog. And they say AI is clever. R.I.P. Heinz Stuck. He left home at 22 in 1962 with a 3-speed bicycle and $300 and travelled the world for 51 years, visiting every country. He took over 100,000 photographs, which helped pay for the travels. One of his biggest motivators was escaping work at a factory job.
This is the Shorter Than Short podcast with Mikedjkelly.
And in the Stuff You Don't Know corner, an American company has just got approved to sell sunlight at night. The FCC approved Reflect Orbital's first satellite, Earndil-1, designed to reflect sunlight onto Earth. The startup says it can glow as bright as the full moon. It will unfold a 60-foot mirror 400 miles above Earth and direct sunlight onto a 3-mile wide area. So useful for all sorts of things: ripening bananas, fueling solar farms, creating the world's first 24-hour beach resorts. Reflect Orbital's roadmap calls for 2 satellites in 2026, 36 satellites in 2027, 1,000 in 2028, 5,000 by 2030, and 50,000 by 2035.
How much will it cost? Won't it upset nature, animals and birds thinking they should be up when they should be sleeping? Could I get a beam of it onto a sunbed in my yard so I could sleep out in the sun and get a tan?
I hear Scarborough is planning to be an all-year-round resort, but will be charging you to go on the beach. Never knew this. In January 1960, Terry Thomas's carefully nurtured fame was at its height. He was appearing in a midnight charity event at the Odeon Theatre in Liverpool. After coming off stage and getting back to his dressing room, he quickly realised that his expensive custom-made cigarette holder was missing. It wasn't just any old cigarette holder. This one was particularly ostentatious and decorated with 42 diamonds and a gold spiral band. It was insured for £2,000. The Liverpool police didn't take long to track down 2 of the diamonds, finding them at the home of a local unemployed salesman, small-time variety artist and well-known fence called Alan David Williams. The other 40 diamonds were found inside a roll of carpet at the Queen's Drive home of an equally small-time variety artist, the 20-year-old unemployed comedian called James Joseph Tarbuck. Alan Williams was charged with being an accessory after the fact, Tarbuck with theft, and they were both committed for trial at Liverpool Magistrates Court in April 1960. Was it a publicity stunt? What about this then? A drinking straw that could make nights out safer. 5 students from Belgium created Check It, a drinking straw that helps detect common drink spiking drugs like GHB and ketamine. A built-in test strip changes colour within seconds if the substances are detected, warning users before they take another sip. The idea started as a university project and has gained international attention as a simple extra layer of protection.
This is the Shorter Than Short Mikedjkelly podcast.
Yes, it's that time. Guess the celebrity. Nice easy one. Born 1st of September 1967 in Blackburn. He is an actor, comedian and writer, best known as a member of the League of Gentlemen with Reece Shearsmith, Mark Gatiss and Jeremy Dyson. He and Shearsmith also co-wrote and appeared in the sitcom Psychoville and the comedy drama Inside Number 9. His other TV credits include Doctor Who, Benidorm, Blackpool, Shameless, Whitechapel and Happy Valley. Who is he?
Yabba dabba dabba doo, it's the Mike Kelly Shorter Than Short podcast for you.
Why is this show called the Small Tomatoes Edition?
Because for a lot of my life we only ever had big round tomatoes. I never really liked big tomatoes. They were like big chunks on salad, unlike the nice little ones you get now.
You have never mentioned this before. I have known you for a long time. Why now?
It was Jan and Sarah on Facebook who got me thinking. Jan said she missed coloured toilet rolls. And Sarah said she pokes a hole in the wrappers in the supermarket to sniff them, to make sure they smell nice before she buys them.
What, she smells the toilet rolls? The world is going mad.
Anyway, it says here, for graded uniformity, commercial tomato growers in places like Lee Valley, Worthing and Guernsey supply British markets with round glasshouse tomatoes graded by count per pound, often 8 to the pound as the standard rule.
This is the Shorter Than Short podcast with Mike Kelly.
If you want to get in touch with this top-rated and sometimes much listened to podcast, please connect and get in touch about anything to do with the Shorter Than Short podcast. We're on most social media sites at Mikedjkelly. Indeed, if you want a podcast making for your business or need any help with radio producer or presentation work, travel news, voiceover work, podcast editing, please do get in touch. Do please tell your friends about the podcast. All they need to do to find it is search on Google for the Mikedjkelly Shorter Than Short podcast.
This is the Shorter Than Short podcast with Mike Kelly.
The big rant. So let's have a look at poor pay and universal credit, or to put it another way, tight, poor-paying companies against the benefits of staying at home. A single person on a living wage job might manage, but a family of 3 or 4 on the same wage might not. Critics and campaigners argue that low-paying, highly profitable corporations shift their labour costs onto the state effectively, receiving a taxpayer-funded subsidy to keep labour expenses down and profits high. When companies know the state will prevent their workers from starving or becoming homeless, they face less market pressure to raise voluntary wages closer to real living costs. If you are on a low wage, to qualify for universal credit, you must live in the UK, be aged over 18 or over, with some exceptions, 16 or 17, and to be under state pension age. You must also have £16,000 or less in total money, savings and investments, and have a low income or no job. If you are on universal credit, one of the few benefits is that many major UK attractions offer heavily discounted or £1 to £3 tickets. Participating venues include historic palaces, zoos and gardens, though you must usually book online in advance and bring proof of your benefit entitlement, such as a DWP award letter or your online journal, along with photo ID. Popular UK attractions with universal credit discounts: historic royal palaces, Tower of London, Hampton Court, Kensington Palace. Tickets drop from £1 for up to 6 people per household. Zoos: London Zoo and Whipsnade Zoo. Reduced adult entry drops significantly Example to £3 to £10 depending on the tier for up to 6 household members. Royal Botanic Gardens, Kew Gardens and Wakehurst. Admission is reduced to £1. RHS Gardens, including Harlow Car in North Yorkshire, offer heavily reduced entry rates for households on means-tested benefits. Eden Project offers discounted day tickets for recipients during special seasonal events.
This is the Shorter Than Short Mike Kelly podcast.
And a final burst from the social media sites, Sunderland Lollipops. Not one person deciding the pension age will ever have to live on the state pension of 12.5k, only half the minimum wage, and none of them will be working to 68. Law 88 mph. What the absolute is going on with the new lotto prizes? Only £10 now for 3 numbers instead of the 30, and 4 numbers matched is only £50. Total insult. It's 6 numbers matched or nout, essentially now. I've been playing it for 30 years, I reckon, but I think I might be going to stop now. Total joke. Greenpeace, Amazon, Microsoft and Google now pump out 119 million tonnes of CO2 a year from their AI and cloud build-out, about a third of France's annual emissions. Do not believe big tech companies when they tell you AI will solve the climate crisis, while their data centres guzzle fossil fuels and spew pollution on a countrywide scale. Patriotic millionaires, we're going to hold your hand when we say this. Taxing rich people like us more does not make us poor or unable us to keep investing in our businesses or create jobs. That's a scare tactic used to keep taxes on the super rich low and pass along the costs to the working people. Hi, it's SG. I love books because there aren't any adverts in them. Big Tiny 42, why don't we spend 80 billion on social welfare programs and the NHS, and the defence nerds can have a big fundraising show like Children in Need, and those who want to help, they can dig deep out of their own pockets. Electra 75. Did you know that every single England football player since 2007 has given all their national team match fees to charity? They have donated over £15 million to date, benefiting organisations such as UNICEF, Help for Heroes and many more. I love this so much. Alan Omlas. A drought, we are an island surrounded by water, so why haven't we got desalination plants around the country? Middle Eastern countries use them, and if climate change hoaxers think sea levels are rising, then pumping seawater through desalination plants to stock our reservoirs is an idea someone needs to think about. The Real Ale Vince. There's nothing radical or wrong with that. We have VAT on energy bills and not on flying. Fuel duty on cars to go to work in, but not planes for flying. And duty free for flying, but not at bus stops.
This is the Shorter Than Short podcast with Mike Kelly.
Seeing the charity adverts with young kids with cleft lips and cleft palate got me wondering, does it happen everywhere or just in certain countries? Apparently, it varies noticeably across different geographic regions and ethnic populations worldwide. Prevalence rates are generally highest in populations of Asian and Native American descent, roughly 1 in 500 to 750 births. Intermediate in Caucasian populations, about 1 in 700 to 1 in 1,000 births, and lowest in populations of African descent, around 1 in 1,200 births. In the UK, it is the most common facial birth defect in the country, affecting 1 in 700 babies born each year, roughly 1,200 babies every year.
Mike Kelly podcast.
And in the late news, BP profits more than double as the Iran war sends oil prices soaring. about 1,000 fewer prisoners to get early release as Burnham tightens rules, calls for UK bank tax to fund cost of living help as HSBC profits hit 7.5 billion.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kelly. You are out of time. You must stop now.
Okay, it's time to go. Guess the name of the artiste or the song that these lines came from. Rising up, back on the street. Did my time, took my chances. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times it happens too fast. Your trade, your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight to keep them alive. Name the song, the group, or the artiste. It was Eye of the Tiger by the American rock band Survivor. It was released in May 1982 as the theme song for Rocky III. Guess the celebrity, born the 1st of September 1967 in Blackburn. He is an actor, comedian and writer, best known as a member of the League of Gentlemen with Reece Shearsmith, Mark Gatiss and Jeremy Dyson. He and Shearsmith also co-wrote and appeared in the sitcom Psychoville and the comedy drama Inside Number 9. His other TV credits include Doctor Who, Benidorm, Blackpool, Shameless, Whitechapel and Happy Valley. Who is he? Stephen James Pemberton. Today's do-gooders are Friends of the Elderly at fote.org.uk. And guess what? It's been a blast, but that's enough for this special Small Tomatoes edition of the crazy Shorter Than Short podcast show. From me, Mike Kelly.
And me, Joyce, the one with the big smile and Russian lips.
Don't forget to tell your friends to listen to the Mikedjkelly Shorter Than Short podcast. Thanks for listening, and remember, you can always find the podcast by searching or shouting the Mikedjkelly Shorter Than Short podcast.
Yabba dabba dabba doo, it's the Mike Kelly Shorter Than Short podcast for you.
This is the Shorter Than Short podcast with Mike Kelly.
Live across the universe, it's the Mikedjkelly Shorter Than Short podcast.